Hello, my name is Tia Harrell, and my pen name is TMH Writer. And I have here with me Donna Williams, my beta reader, and we're going to talk about my Kindle Villas and my new series that's coming up, the Dark Cloud series. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
All right now, you laughing because you know you going down the wrong path with me right now. Yeah, okay.
All right, let's talk about it.
All right. That's that whole faux Terry business. Okay. Oh my gosh. For those of you that don't know, Tia and I go back and forth on who's our favorite character in her series, This Love is Real. And if you haven't gotten the series, you need to get the series so that you can follow along with the Kindle Villa. It's an amazing read. I've read it so many times. It feels like the characters are real people. I have to check myself and make sure I'm still sane and don't have to go check into a mental health facility because they're real, but I do know they're not really real. Anywho, Tia or TMH Writer is Team Terry in the series, and I am Team Sonia. I am her wife's biggest fan. And in the Kindle Villa, faux Terry, well, Terry has lost her memory. Now she's this whole different person. And honey, she is working my nerves. All right. There's times when I'm reading it, I just want to throw my phone against the wall and break it because, you know, she's breaking Sonia's heart with this behavior. So anyway, that's what I'm getting into. Her flirting with men, putting herself out there. And she has a whole wife at home that she knows she has at home. Just because she can't remember that they're married, she knows they're married. And so there's no honor with her, no boundaries, and she's working my nerves.
Well, she doesn't. Well, she has lost her memory, and she's now regaining her footing by being able to go out and experience life. And she's fascinated now with her father. She just saw him practicing for his concert. So
yeah,
now that she's got a little taste of the music,
I don't think she's that fascinated with CJ as much as she's fascinated with the dude who was CJ's bodyguard. You kind of slid that right in there. What was his name?
Jacob?
No. There's another guy. Pete.
No, Pete was just helping her out because he understood it was an emotionally charged situation at the dinner. So Pete's a good guy.
She's not. We're talking about her.
She's not a bad person. She's just feeling her way. You know, this is all new to her. She's like a child. This is all new to her.
Feeling her way and sowing her oats at the same time, and she got a whole wife at home.
Well, she doesn't really like that wife.
I think she does, and I think this is why she's acting out, because in the deepest part of her, I think she does.
Well, after watching the wedding videos and the videos of them in San Juan, she kind of did feel something, but she didn't want to, and that's why she got mad. That's why she doesn't like Joyce and Freddie, because Joyce and Terry have a strong bond, and she could feel that by just Joyce looking at her, and she was like, she's not comfortable. I don't say she doesn't want it, but she's not comfortable.
She's not comfortable with that love that she is.
She's not. And now she's starting to get it from Anne. Anne is starting to give her that kind of love. And she's starting to accept it more from Anne than Joyce. But we'll see. We'll see. Because Anne kind of lets her be who she is right now. And Joyce may check her. As she already has. And that's what Terry needs. But Anne's going to keep, I won't say keep Joyce away. But Joyce isn't going to be around her too much because she doesn't want to accept herself to cruelty. You know,
Right.
she misses her daughter and she misses their bond, and just
Right.
looking at Terry hurts her now. And
Yeah.
so and now she sees, well, it hasn't happened yet, but Ann and CJ, they're gonna allow Terry to be who she is. And we're gonna start to see that in the next episode coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you know, she has to spread her wings and fly. You know, she has to do that. The problem is she's in New York. And so, you know, New York is Terry's stomping ground. So
yeah, and all this flirting with Aaron and all of this.
She just likes flirting with Aaron, but she doesn't like
flirting with everybody.
Huh?
She flirts with everybody. If you're remotely good looking, she's flirting with you.
She wasn't flirting with Pete. She didn't flirt with Jacob. She's scared of Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob scared her.
She was even looking a little side eye at Ed.
At Ed?
Yep. Yep. she was, yes, she was. And guess what? Let me tell you something before we go further. You put out all of these get to know the characters, these little bios with these pictures. Hunted, let me tell you. You put up Freddie, I was like, good golly, Miss Molly. That thing so fine. It was like, woo!
He is good looking.
Ooh, goodness gracious. You talk about tall, dark, and handsome.
Wait till you see Ed.
Oh, better looking than Freddie? Nah, you can't get better looking than that. I'm like, good God. He looked like a black Adonis. I was like, goodness.
Yeah. And his picture didn't show up, but Freddie has gray eyes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He looked kind of young though, you know? I'm like, ooh.
He is young.
40?
He's not that old.
Kind of 40-ish, 40?
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Okay. Yeah, he looked like he was in his 40s. I'm like, good God.
Yeah.
They didn't make men like that when I was a youngster. Cause girl, woo. The girls were kind of cute too. You know, I give it to them. They look good. Honey, I clicked on his picture. I was like, good golly. Now Ted, he was just all right.
You just don't like Ted. you just have some preconceived.
You know, I ain't
anger towards him.
He got my respect when he didn't fall for Faux Terry.
Oh.
Yeah, I got his respect because I had
lost
it.
He didn't in the book, but this is the Kindle Vellas.
Yeah, right. Well, I haven't seen all the shenanigans yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. It's coming.
But he was all right. But Freddie was on it. Yes. Now we just have to see Sonia and her parents. You know, we still have to see them.
They're not in the Dark Cloud series. We already saw Sonia. Sonia and Terry was the first week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, plus I've seen them from the books.
Yeah, Sonia's mother and father and granny aren't in the Dark Cloud series.
Oh, okay.
They went back to North Carolina. You know, this is 3 years after Terry was, you know, they had to hide her from that.
Okay.
Yep. So
yep.
this is well, not I'd say 2.5 years after.
Okay, so the kids were relatively young still.
Yeah, the kids in the book are still under 3 years old. So
okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. 3 kids under 3. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they work from home mostly.
Yeah.
Well, not Terry. Terry and Sonia do go in the lab. Well, you'll see that in the medical mysteries more so than you will see in Dark Cloud. You'll start to see why in the Dark Cloud series, but during the beginning of the Dark Cloud series, they're still working.
Okay.
But you know, situations happen. That
well, Tia, let's talk about that a little bit. What's the premise of the Dark Cloud
the
series?
premise of the Dark Cloud series, it starts off, you remember Aaron's ex-husband, Paul?
Yeah, the jerk.
Yeah, the jerk. Well, during the '08 crash, the real estate crash, his company took a big hit. And so he never fully recovered from that. And and he's also a gambler. So he ended up owing money to the wrong person.
Oh.
And so Paul sees Aaron and Terry's success, well, mostly Aaron's success, and he figures that she owes him. So,
wow.
So the first book starts where he asked her for a favor. And and Aaron is like, no. And when she said that, they're no longer safe. None of them.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what?
So and that's the premise of the Dark Cloud series.
Okay. And it's sad. And if the audience really wants to know what happened, they need to pick up This Love Is Real, the series.
Yes.
And you can read all about this guy and the connections that he had to Aaron, Terry, Freddie, Joyce, and that you'll get a better understanding of how the Dark Cloud series is going to roll out with this guy involved.
Right. And the characters.
Yep.
Because all of the This Love Is Real characters will be in, well, the characters that you'll see, what I'm showing on Facebook, those are the characters that you'll see in Dark Cloud, but most of the This Love Is Real characters.
Okay. And that's so sad to me because he was a mentor to Aaron. You know, right. And that's how she really got her start in the design business.
So he figures she owes him.
Well, she paid him back with the work that she did for his company. Good God.
Well, yeah, but desperate men do desperate things. And he's a gambler. So
yeah, well, you know, desperation, obsession, greed, you know, all of that, you know, people can be desperate, but they don't always resort to the worst behavior.
Right.
And it sounds like this dude has just resorted to the worst of his behavior. But hell, he wasn't that good to Aaron.
He wasn't.
Because they were seeing each other and there was a big age gap between them.
Yeah.
You know, so he was taking advantage of, in my opinion, he was taking advantage of somebody who was quite younger than he was.
She was.
And he was serving as a mentor.
Right.
And when you're mentoring young people, the last thing you should be thinking about is getting into a personal or sexual relationship with them. It just clouds everything.
It does cloud everything. And he's not a noble man.
Nope.
So,
wow.
And so Aaron was very vulnerable.
Of course. So, she was young.
She was young. She was young.
So tell me, so we're gonna see this dude go off the rails,
right?
But who else is part of that we've seen in the This Love Is Real series?
Well, you do have a burning question on what happened, who forced Joyce off of the road when she lost her baby.
Yes, right.
So in the Dark Cloud series, you'll find out who did it. So
right, and that appeared in what? Which book?
His path toward redemption. So
okay,
Joyce and Freddie.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So Freddie, Freddie had a dark past starting out. So I will say that dark past has come back with a vengeance. Wow.
Well, Freddie had a dark past, but it wasn't of his making.
No, it wasn't of his making, but not everybody was happy when he tried to better his life.
Right.
So,
and isn't that true? Most of the time,
it's very true. Jealousy is a powerful. Is a powerful thing.
It is. It's, there is jealousy and envy. There's a line in the Hebrew Bible that says, envy or jealousy is as cruel as the grave.
Mm.
And we know what's in the grave. It's just dead
Right.
things, rotten things,
Right.
you know. And so, you know, as people, we have to learn to celebrate the successes of others
Mm-hmm.
because our time is coming,
Right.
you know. And this is why, you know, I'm so grateful to be part of this Love is Real series,
Mm-hmm.
the Path to Redemption,
Mm-hmm.
the stories with Kai and her partner and everyone else that's involved,
Mm-hmm.
because it I feel like if I'm supportive,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I've gained so much support in my life that I
Mm-hmm.
can really give it back
Right.
to someone else, and
Right.
someone else who is very deserving.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Wow.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Goodness gracious, goodness. I can't, you know, I can't wait till the series starts. Um, are we going to talk a little bit more about Ed's story, the Ed Chronicles?
We can talk about the Ed Chronicles. I'm still
Okay.
doing some research with
Okay.
the Navy, but you know, Ed meets a lot of his best friends in the Navy. So
Okay.
we'll start to see, you know, Pete and Andre, how he met them and how they, you know,
Right.
forged a bond and
Okay.
why they were so successful in, you know, capturing Gabriel.
Ah,
Right.
right,
So, you know,
right,
Pete was involved. Well,
right,
he was protecting Sonia while Ed hid Terry away. But
right.
you'll see Pete is definitely in the Dark Cloud series. Not so
Okay.
much Andre, because Andre is a physical therapist. He kind of
Right.
took he stepped back from any type of military functions, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll see Andre is Ed's right hand man. So,
Okay. Yep. I can't
I
wait to
mean,
see that.
Pete, excuse
Pete
me, Pete
is
is
Pete is. Mm-hmm.
Ed's right hand man.
Do
But
we ever find out where Terry was taken, where he hid her? It had to be someplace where
it
she could
was,
get out
it
and
was,
ride her motorcycle and do those types of things.
it was out somewhere where it was part of Ed's property that he got when he got out of the military. So it was
Okay.
something, you know, off the radar that he
Okay.
built.
So it was in the States and not in Europe.
Hmm?
Or we That's what I love about you. You know, it's like I'm gonna give you a little bit, but I'm not giving you too much.
What?
I might have to slide that in on one of the books or
You gotta read it. You
one
gotta
of the
read the
stories.
books and the
Okay.
villas.
Yeah.
If you wanna put all the pieces together, you have to
But
read all of the books
well,
in the
that's why
Kindle
I have all
Villas.
the books. And I'm a beta reader, but I believe in support. So yes, I get the books, but I also go and purchase the books. You know, so I don't just believe in the writer, but I want to support the writer. So I have purchased all the books, and hey, I purchased a bunch of tokens so I can keep up with the stories too. Okay.
I
So
appreciate it.
every week I'm like, and then Tia also throws in 2, 3 stories. So I'm just hitting the buy, buy. It take 11 tokens. It takes 12. I'm like, goodness gracious.
When I have a good week, yeah, I can knock out a couple of episodes, but
Okay. Because I've been waiting on Ed. I've been going back and forth and back and forth. And it's
I'm
like,
still doing research. But right now, I have to focus on the Dark Cloud series to make
yeah.
sure they come out on time. So I
Okay.
have to get those books to my editors.
Got it. Got it.
I'm still working on them. So they're
Yeah.
coming. They're
And I did
coming.
learn something in the Ed Chronicles. And I used to work for the Army. I've
Mm-hmm.
worked for the military entrance processing station. And so
Mm-hmm.
we would get recruits
Mm-hmm.
from every branch of service. And I worked in
Uh-huh.
medical. And I
Uh-huh.
didn't realize that when these guys went away to boot camp, if they were exceptional, they could progress a little quicker than the normal progression, that they
Yes,
could
they
literally
can.
be promoted. I didn't realize that until I
Yes, they
read
can.
the Egg Chronicles.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was good to know.
I'm glad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta do a little more research. And my brother was actually in the Navy, so I'm gonna try to connect with him.
Okay. And my bonus daughter was a lieutenant in the Navy. She was a dentist.
Really?
Yep. So she was stationed out there in California. But she has traveled all over. She even did
Mm,
some dentistry work in
mhm,
Guatemala, I believe it was. And she would tell me stories about the kids down there that never
mhm.
had dental care, and that
Oh,
it
yeah.
really did, they were underclothed, underfed, and which contributes to dental disease.
Hmm.
And how she just left her whole suitcase down there. She just did not, she just came back with the clothes on her back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's more than just quote unquote fighting wars, but there's some
Right.
real work to do when
Right.
you, especially as an officer, if you're a medical professional or what
Right.
have you, there's
Right.
some opportunities to really serve some
Right.
underserved people.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
So that's what the Ed Chronicles is gonna kind of get into, and that's how he
Good,
met his team.
good.
So I
Does
wonder
he
if
have
she
a
would
lady
be.
love though? I mean, tall, dark, and handsome. You gotta have somebody lurking around that's interested.
Do you think your bonus daughter would be up to speaking with me?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure she was. She has great stories
Nice.
about the Navy, and then of
Okay.
course after she got out full time, she
Right.
worked. She served as a reservist for a
Okay.
number of years while she was building her dental practice. So, hmm
I would look forward to talking to her.
okay, I will definitely share that with her. You just let me know when, and I can get it all set up.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Anything I can help you with, I'm willing to do. Hmm. So yes, getting back to the lady love. Is there a lady love? Hell, is there a lady love for any of those guys? Because I don't see anybody. Pete, Jacob,
It's
Ed.
it's the Navy. They just got out of boot camp. They went to A
Hmm.
school.
There's
They're
women
still
in the
in
Navy.
training, huh?
There's women in the Navy.
They
Yeah, yeah.
you
They have
we'll
co-ed ships
see.
now.
We'll
It used
see.
to didn't.
What'd you say?
They have co-ed ships now. There was a time when women weren't allowed on battleships and things like that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. That's not true anymore.
Mm.
I mean, they have Navy pilots, female Navy
Oh
pilots.
yes, I know.
So they're,
We'll,
you
we'll
just,
see.
they,
We'll see.
tall, dark, and handsome, gotta have somebody lurking around. Uh-huh. There we go again with the smile, folks.
Perhaps.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Well, we
Well,
will we will see. I'm
he
looking
does
for
have Lady Love in the Dark Cloud series. Ed finds love.
okay. As long as it's not with Terry, I'm good. Right.
Terry's like his little sister.
I get that, but I don't put anything past her.
You
Nothing.
mean you mean faux Terry?
Faux Terry,
Oh my God.
real Terry. I mean, she have a you know why I said that?
Why?
Because when she woke up, she was mean. And she was not the old Terry. She was a newer version.
She
And
wasn't she wasn't mean. She was more frustrated than mean.
she was frustrated with Sonia. She didn't act that way
Uh,
with anybody else.
yes, she
So,
did. The first couple of days, she was mean to Ann, cussing her out. Well,
you know,
cussing at her.
she was mean to Anne because she thought that Anne only loved the false Terry, the faux Terry.
You mean the real
But
Terry?
yeah, she didn't know the real Terry was mad at Anne because she thought that she only liked the faux Terry.
Oh, that was after
Remember
she woke up.
when she woke
You
up,
talking about
right?
This Love Is Real book 2,
Uh-huh. But
after she woke up.
she was mad with Sonia, wouldn't even go see her,
She
you know?
wasn't She wasn't mad with Sonia. She just wasn't. She wasn't well, and she was
and then she threw it up
confused
in her
and
face.
upset. What'd you say?
Didn't come see me, so I'm not in a hurry to come see you. Really?
Well, Terry was upset because she felt like her body was hijacked.
Yeah, well, it really was.
It was.
It was.
It was. So she was mad. She was angry, and she just wasn't in her, she wasn't well, and she didn't want to take that out on Sonia. She didn't want Sonia to see her that way.
And you know what? All the research that you've done on head trauma and memory loss is amazing, because when we watch these medical shows on TV and it's like, oh, they can't remember you, and by the end of the show, the 50 minutes, the 55 minutes, or whatever it is, oh, they've gotten their memory back, and all is good. Well,
it's not good.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
And in this case, it was a year before she fully regained her memory.
Yes, it was a year. And so when she woke up, she was angry, confused. And then her parents did help, because they were more than Faux Terry. Over that year, they got really close to Faux Terry. Because they never raised Terry. And so this was their opportunity to bond with Faux Terry the way they wanted to with Terry. And they couldn't do that the same way with Terry because of course, Joyce and Freddie.
And the fact that how they bonded with her was over something that they were passionate about.
Right.
Which is music
and fashion. Because Anne loves fashion too. But she loves music and fashion. So.
But in their story, was it his path for redemption? The CJ and Ann story?
CJ and Ann's story was her path towards forgiveness.
For forgiveness.
Yeah.
But you see in her story that she was very much involved with music until she lost CJ.
And Terry.
Right. But she was allowed to kind of stay in Terry's life.
She was.
Via her sister, She
was.
And that whole story was nuts. It was like, oh my goodness. And so when you read about her in This Love Is Real, you don't see the full picture of why there was an estrangement between she and Terry.
Right.
You have to read her path to forgiveness.
Absolutely.
To get that story.
The backstory.
You got to get the backstory. And that backstory, you just made it's sad. You just want to cry that people can be so cruel, especially to their own kids.
Right.
And I'm a mother and grandmother, and I can't imagine being that cruel to neither one of my kids or my grandchildren. Not at all. But, I guess it happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
It definitely happens.
So, yep, you got to get those companion books, folks, for real. You can get the series, but you got to get His Path to Redemption, Her Path to Forgiveness. You got to get the story with Kai. What was the name of that one? I forgot the name of that one.
The story, Second Chance.
That's right, Second Chance. And definitely get the Kindle Vellas, the
Stranger in the Mirror.
And Stranger in the Mirror. You got to, because it's almost like a soap opera. For real. We've been watching the same stuff for 50 years on, what's that soap opera?
Days of Our Lives, Guiding Light.
No, the other one. As the World Turns.
Oh, As the World Turns.
We've been seeing Victor Newman and his crew.
Oh my God.
For 40, 50 years. This series, this Kindle Vella, This Love Is Real, Dark Cloud, and all the other companion pieces, it's like a big old soap opera that you can't get enough of. It's like, okay, all right, this person is blowing me away. Okay, no, I can't believe so-and-so did that. Can you believe that? Oh, come on now. These are the things I'm saying to myself as I'm reading. I can't get over it. But at the end of the day, I'm still Team Sonia.
Oh my God. Team Sonia. I'm Team Terry through and through. I love her evolution, but I love writing about faux Terry. I can't wait. I can't wait until she gets out into the world. It's going to be fabulous.
Okay, you know, this is what I'm discovering, folks. The sweet little Tia Harrell, TMA's writer, is not so sweet when you read faux Terry. Because all of this stuff is coming out of that mind. And it's like, whoa, what happened to my friend? This is me. Okay. I want the sweet one. I want the sweet stuff.
I can't wait. The next episode that comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We're going to see her. They're going to go out to dinner and not one at Terry and not one at Terry, Joyce, or Freddie's restaurant. So they're going to go to another restaurant because she wanted to.
So who is they? She and Aaron?
Well, Aaron's not going to go this time, but CJ, Ann, and Terry, they're all going to go out after he finishes
the concert.
Well, not with the concert, with practicing with his band. Yeah.
Yeah.
After he's done, they're going to go out to dinner, and Faux Terry is going to get a real taste of what happens when they're out and about. Because CJ is a megastar. He's more famous than Terry right now. Right. So they see CJ out, and they and.
Okay, because the last time they went out to dinner, it was kind of covert. They went to the back.
It was covert because they went to Joyce and Freddie's restaurant. Joyce's place.
Yep, they got all protective.
Yeah.
But what I really liked was the meals that they had were Terry's creation.
Yeah. We got to see some of Terry's signature dishes.
Exactly. We read about them in This Love Is Real, but we see her as a chef.
Right.
But in the Kindle Vellas series, we get to see the dishes.
Right.
So that was really good. I was like, oh snap! I guess she can cook something.
Oh yes. She's a trained chef. She went to culinary school.
Okay.
Crash course before she opened the bistro.
Right. And when I think bistro, I'm always thinking sandwiches, something simple.
Yeah.
Maybe some craft beers or some sort of specialty teas and coffees.
Yeah.
But the meals that she was having, that she literally prepared to be served in Freddie's restaurants.
Yeah.
It's some higher end stuff. So
yeah, in the restaurants, not in the bistro. The bistro is everything that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But they have live music. So that's what the customers really enjoy.
Oh yeah, that would be nice to have a little spot where you can go, catch a little brunch and listen to some great music.
Listen to some spoken word or somebody sing or rap. Yeah, I used to love those little places in San Francisco and Berkeley. So okay, I used to go to some little spaces like that.
Okay, but not so much now because of COVID.
No.
Or just older and kind of left that
because of COVID, really.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere, but yeah.
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's amazing how that has really kind of transformed our society in a lot of ways. Even those that get out, they're still getting out differently than they used to. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And then, so I can't imagine what it's like being a superstar and you have the paparazzi and the fans.
We'll start to see that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what Terry needs to see, because she doesn't really understand being famous yet. She needs to see. So that's what Ann and CJ is going to show her in the next episode.
And how long do you think it'll be before we actually get to see her walk in the New York fashion show?
It'll it'll be a couple of episodes.
Okay, so that's on
I'm
down
going
the
to
line.
start speeding up the story because we got to get through the year. So nothing really takes off until she escapes from the, she calls the dungeon,
and
which is a fabulous.
She loses her mind.
Yeah, well, she doesn't lose her mind. She just, she's just happy she escaped. Although the house is fabulous. It's a mansion, but
folks, read
to
that
her,
this love is real, and tell me or jump on Facebook Live the next time we have an episode together and tell me whether or not she lost her mind with Zion. Okay? Because she lost her mind with Zion. She lost her mind. She lost her mind before she even met Zion.
She
cutting her hair, all them daggone tattoos, jumping on the airplane.
One tattoo. She
jumping on the airplane.
She's not crazy. She got one tattoo. She did have a dramatic makeover though. Ted loved it.
That's an understatement.
Ted loved it. He thought she was sexy.
Yeah, but when he realized who she really wasn't, he was like, let me drive you right on over to Sonya's house.
Something's not right.
Something right. Something wrong with Dorothy.
Because he knew who Terry was, because they forged a bond in North Carolina. So
yeah. That never got really off the ground good. We get to see that a little bit in the Her Path to Forgiveness.
Yeah. In the Origins 2 book, you'll see their relationship. So after the Dark Cloud series, I'm going to try to finish that book.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Get that book out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not a big Ted fan.
I love Ted. Ted's a stand-up guy.
I like Sean.
Huh?
I like Sean.
I don't like Sean.
I like Sean because he's Team Sonya.
I don't like Sean because he just dissed Terry. Was disrespectful, for no reason. I mean,
he had reason.
He did not. It's not even his business. No, he was disrespectful, and he didn't even understand or know their relationship. That's what I have a problem with. He has no idea what Terry and Sonya went through, and he doesn't know what Terry went through. So he just judgmental. I'm glad Grace was gonna put him in his place.
Yeah,
I love Grace. I love Grace, and Grace knows. Grace knows their situation. And Grace
I'm down for my friends.
Grace is team Sonya and Terry.
Yeah, she is a good mediator, a good neutral person, but I'm down with my friends. And I'm like, you on a honeymoon with your wife, yet you sitting at a table with somebody else. You spend all your time dancing with my brother. And it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Then you spend the night, you go to a private island with somebody else and you on a honeymoon? Come on, man. So yeah, he was down for it. I'm glad. She needed somebody that was like gonna be for her, gonna be down for her.
She did, but Sonya needed to learn how to speak up. She could have stopped Terry if she wanted to.
Yeah, but sometimes in relationships,
she was happy meeting Sean. She was enjoying her time with Sean. She wasn't necessarily worried about what Terry and Ted were doing until it was too late, until they was off on that private beach. Because she was having fun.
I don't think she enjoyed it. She enjoyed just watching them dance all on each other all night either.
She should have said something.
But you know what?
Terry wanted her to. Terry was like, I wanted to dance with you, but Sonya don't really like to dance that much unless it's reggae music. So Terry loves
so beat up in the relationship. Sometimes it's hard to step up and speak out for yourself when you've been so beat up. And that's why she had to go therapy. Remember? She went to therapy to deal with that. The pain that she had that little breakdown in the shower.
She did.
Right.
She did.
So there's a lot that's happening. And sometimes you can be so beat up in a relationship you can't speak for yourself anymore. You're afraid that if you say anything, you're gonna lose this person. So you're walking around on eggshells.
I don't think Sonia was afraid. I just think she didn't know what to do.
Right.
She was.
Right.
I don't think Sonia's not necessarily afraid in her relationship with Terry. She knows Terry has made it plain to her that she is the one for her in their quiet moments, in their personal time together. But I think Sonia just didn't know what to do. She didn't really see. She's never seen Terry dancing with a guy other than Mike.
Yeah.
Back, when they were in college.
Right.
So I think she was taken back at first. She didn't realize what was going on until it was too late. It's not that she was scared. She was like.
But if I'm on my honeymoon, I wouldn't be trying to dance with nobody else but my wife. So even if it's not like it's a party.
But the thing is, Terry and Ted had a friendship that was cut short because of what happened in North Carolina.
But she's married now on her honeymoon.
So Terry was just happy to see her friend, and
okay,
they danced in North Carolina. They drunk wine, danced, cooked. They had a good.
She wasn't married then. And she wasn't on her honeymoon.
It was not their honeymoon. They just said it was their honeymoon.
Oh,
but it was they were already going on that cruise with Ted and Sean. So that was already a planned event. It just so happened they got married when Ann and CJ got married. That was something new. But they were always going on the cruise with those guys.
People. Always Team Terry. She can do no wrong. That's right. She can do no wrong. Got an explanation for that poor behavior.
I didn't say she couldn't do no wrong, but Terry is a flawed person, and she's good. She's good. She's kind-hearted, and she has a service heart. It's just that she's been through so much trauma, and she didn't have real guidance when she was in her teen years. And so that took a toll on her, right?
This is true. Yeah.
It took a toll. And Terry had to learn how to get over her trauma. And she's been through therapy through the years. And so she's a very flawed person. Yep. She's not going to be who you want her to be.
She definitely blows me away. That's for sure. And not in a good way. But yeah,
well, she's a kind-hearted, good person to her core, and you can't argue with me with that. She is okay. She has a service heart. She gives other artists opportunities. Look how she took Kai under her wing. If she wasn't kind-hearted, she would have never did that, right?
Yeah. So, there are some good points to her. I just was disappointed in the way she treated Sonia.
She had to learn
over and over again.
She had to learn how to treat her. But Terry has been through so much. I mean, Sonia has too, but not to the point that Terry has. Sonia had to deal with other things, being gay in school and coming out to her parents and her mom not accepting her. So, Sonia had to deal with things, but not to the point that Terry has. Terry was, very bad things happened to Terry.
Right.
Somebody wanted to kill her.
Right.
Right. Somebody wanted to kill her. So somebody took advantage of her. Somebody hijacked her. But I mean, there's been very bad things happening to Terry. And to be the woman that she is today is outstanding. Right?
True. Yeah.
Who she is today, is, and how she treats Sonia is loving. Terry doesn't have any, right? But she had to learn. That's her journey. She had to learn.
That journey drove me nuts.
Anything for Sonia. Sonia is Terry's heart, and she shows it. She always has. She always defers to Sonia. Sonia will come out the winner each and every time. She walked away from Aaron because the way she felt about Sonia, and she loved Aaron. Aaron was her best friend.
It didn't stop her from bumping and grinding with Aaron, though.
Yeah, but Sonia had a relationship with Jessica. Sonia wasn't a wallflower.
For 2 years.
Huh?
She was with her for 2 years. She wasn't with Jessica for 2 years. It was a matter of a month or two.
Because Jessica disrespected Terry,
and she cut her off with a quick.
That was it.
But
Aaron never disrespected Sonia.
He disrespected her the moment she slept with.
Please, whatever. They weren't married. They weren't together. They weren't married. When Aaron and Terry had a relationship, Sonia and Terry did not have a relationship at all. So she didn't disrespect. She didn't disrespect Sonia.
She knew.
Doesn't matter.
She knew. And she still went there.
All is fair in love and war.
See, I'm old school. The girl code is, if my friend like you, you are off limits.
Aaron and Sonia weren't friends.
They were friendly. They were not. She felt about her.
They were not. Sonia didn't like Aaron from the jump.
She didn't like her because she knew what Aaron's intentions were.
She did not.
And so she didn't like that.
In New York, Aaron's intentions were, she was flirting with Terry, but she wasn't gonna do anything. She was just having fun. But in Colorado, that's when she learned what happened to Terry, and that's when their bond started growing. And so it was after New York. But Sonia was acting jealous when she got off the plane.
And she had reason to be.
They were never friendly. They didn't start to get friendly until This Love Is Real, book 2, when Sonia turned the corner. Sonia turned the corner, and
she had every reason to be jealous.
Huh?
She had every reason to be jealous.
How so?
Oh yeah, she knew her intentions weren't. She knew that Aaron's intentions were not noble.
Aaron was 22 years. She was out to have a good time. Aaron wasn't worried about no relationship. Noble. She was,
I'm old school.
Aaron
was noble.
Aaron had a rough time. Aaron had a rough. What'd you say?
She had a rough time getting over Sonia. Over Terry.
No, a rough time growing up. And so Aaron, she did you read what I put out on Facebook, the character introduction? So you kind of learned about Aaron's background. Aaron didn't have anybody. So that's why she gravitated toward Terry, because she showed her true friendship. She didn't care who she was or what she did. So that's why their friendship bonded, and that's why she was kind of flirting with Terry. But she never was gonna, cross the line until Colorado, when she really started to develop feelings for Terry. So that's why. But Aaron is an upstanding character. I like Aaron. She's one of my favorites.
She's not one of my favorites. I like Grace.
Who?
Grace. I like Grace. And I like their other friend.
Laura.
Yeah, I like her too.
Laura.
They held Sonia down when Terry was being faux Terry or false Terry. So the ones they were Terry's friends. But they said, you know what? We believe in your love. We believe in your relationship, and we're going to hold you down. And they did.
They did.
They stepped all the way up.
Yep. All three of them.
They stepped all the way up. Yep.
They did. Not so much Sean.
Well, Sean was her friend.
Right.
She went to live with him.
Yes.
They bonded. They were, each other's sounding boards.
Yes.
I liked how he was able to transition from having feelings for her sexually
He never had sexual feelings for Sonia.
No, he kind of liked her on the cruise initially.
No, because he knew she was married. He never had sexual feelings towards Sonia.
He was talking about early on how, they had so much in common.
They had so much in common.
And he really
never had
her.
a woman's love, like the love of a mother, like a sister, like
right. That's right.
He never.
Right.
He
never
lost
crossed that
line. He lost his mom. No, he never had sexual.
He never crossed the line, no. And but their relationship made him think about having a relationship with a woman.
No, it didn't.
No, not her. Yeah, he said
no, he didn't.
He made. Wait a minute. He made that statement that I thought was telling. When he saw how much Sonia loved Terry,
right?
He made the statement that he didn't understand it and he didn't think he wanted to.
Right. Exactly.
You remember that?
Yes, he didn't want to. He didn't want to have a love like Terry.
No, because he thought it was too much. He would go over the top.
But guess what, brother? when he met Nyasha,
okay.
all that went out the window.
And we're getting ready to see that too, right? We ain't gonna see that?
No? We did see it a little.
Yeah, we saw them going out. We saw them go out.
You saw the cute meat.
Right.
That's all you get.
That's all I get.
Until his book comes out.
Okay. All right. Well, the cute meat was nice.
Yeah.
It was very nice. I enjoyed that. It was a little disturbing how she really found out about Terry. She was kind of heartbroken about that.
Of course.
Yeah, because that was her friend. Yeah.
That was her friend.
And helped her get her, they did that menu together.
Yeah.
Terry helped her get her body together.
Yeah.
For boxing, to make that transition from kickboxing to regular boxing.
Boxing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, we got to see all that.
Yeah, she was a little heartbroken, but
but I'm glad she turned her attention to Sean. It was kind of nice for him to have somebody that he was interested in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I would love to see Kai make an appearance at some point.
Kai isn't even around in these books.
Well, she went to Europe for a year.
Which books are you talking about?
The Dark Cloud? Her girlfriend. No, not Dark Cloud.
Stranger in the Mirror?
Her book, the Kai story. Remember, it ended with her being in Europe.
Yeah.
With the girlfriend who's a doctor.
Yeah.
And then the doctor is part of the Dark Cloud series, right? I can't remember her name.
No.
She's not?
No, this is during the time that Ayana was in London.
That's it.
And Kai was just starting out getting noticed as an artist. So this is in the early days.
Okay, so
you're talking about the Dark Cloud series, right?
The Dark Cloud series,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't see Ayana work with them. We don't see her come back to the States and work with them.
Not in the Dark Cloud series. You will in the medical mystery.
Yeah, that's it. Medical mysteries. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. They were a cute little couple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so who else are my favorite characters? Mike and Laura were together.
We did see Mike and Laura.
Right. And then Grace and her husband.
Grace and Tim. You'll see Grace and Tim not married, but in the second origin books, because they're from Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And who was the assistant to Terry in T&E once they got to San Diego?
It was Laura.
Okay. Why was I thinking it was someone else? Who was Erin's assistant?
Erin doesn't have an assistant.
Didn't she have an assistant in New York?
She's not necessarily Becca. She's not necessarily her assistant, but she is their assistant. She's like Susie.
Okay.
Like the
That was part of
designer
the New
Chris
York crew.
had. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Becca got promoted to design manager when Aaron moved to San Diego.
Right, right. And so the New York crew kind of faded away. So everything's kind of taking place in San Diego moving forward.
Dark Cloud is in New York and San Diego.
Oh,
Dark
really?
Cloud starts out in New York.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
So old dude, he was still in New York when
Paul
Aaron
is in New York.
transitioned.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's in New
Okay.
York. Yes.
When Aaron transitioned to San Diego,
yes, but
he was in New York.
everybody's in New York for an event. So everybody's in New York.
Got it.
Yeah.
So did Aaron have any knowledge of his troubles prior to this meetup with him?
She lost track of Paul.
Okay.
After her and Terry start building their business, she kind of lost track of Paul. So him calling her was out of the blue.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, you know how industry things are. It's a small world. You know, you would think that she would have heard that here's this major character in the design field, and now he's lost everything. You would have thought that she would have heard something, even if she hadn't been in touch.
She might have.
Okay.
But she didn't focus on it because she had a brand new baby. You know, she had baby Lily. She got married. She had 2 kids. So Paul was the last person on her mind.
Got it.
At the time.
Right, right. And plus by then she had kind of stepped away from the day-to-day from T&E, right? Didn't she?
Not at the start of Dark Cloud.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see why in Dark Cloud.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. At the start of Dark Cloud, they're both still heavily involved in T&E, and Terry's still an artist. So you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see what happened.
Okay, and this was after Terry regained her memory.
Yes.
And so
this is she done had baby Zoe. This is after the kids are born. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so was she performing still?
Yeah.
By then?
Yeah. Okay. Kind of.
Okay.
She was still an artist, but you know how Terry was finicky about performing?
Right. I thought she had made that transition to just songwriter, occasional performer. I think like quarterly. She would just.
You read that in the epilogue. We're not there yet. That was 5 years out.
Right.
We're not there yet in the Dark Cloud series. The kids aren't that old yet.
Okay. Yeah. I got it.
So she hasn't made that transition yet.
Okay, because in the epilogue, the little boy, one of the babies had finished.
Both of them graduated from kindergarten.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's right, because they were twins.
They're twins, yes.
Right.
And baby Zoe.
One was Team Sonia and one was Team Terry.
Oh God, yeah.
The little boy was Team Terry.
Aiden is a mama's boy.
Yep.
He loves him some Terry.
Yep. Oh goodness. Well, I am excited. I'm to see where all the series are going. You know, just when I think I'm figuring out your mind, you give me a little twist.
Gotta give you a twist.
I know, drives me crazy, but I love it anyway. So that was good. It was good talking to you as usual.
Thank you.
As usual.
Yes.
And I'll be putting in my tokens tomorrow to get my story. You know, and don't be like me, folks. I wait till they pile up. I have to get 3 or 4 of them. I click on the tokens and then I wait to read them because it's like, oh Lord. The Kindle Vellas series drives me nuts. It's like having a comic book.
I love it.
And you get to the end and it says,
I love writing The Stranger in the Mirror. I think that's my favorite story so far. Yeah.
I totally loved her path to forgiveness.
Really?
I did. I so enjoyed reading about their story and how they got back together. when he finds out he has a daughter, and to see them come together as a unit,
Uh-huh.
that was very touching. I am
Okay.
despite the fact that she had such an awful upbringing, her parents were so awful,
Right.
and then CJ's upbringing wasn't the best, but he
Right.
did have a loving
He
grandmother.
had a loving grandma. Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah.
love the fact that it takes place in my hometown,
Detroit.
Detroit, the D, baby. I enjoyed that so much. And you're right. It's all about the music, the
Yes.
clubbing, the live shows.
Yes, it is.
That's what I grew up on.
Yes, that's where CJ got his start.
Yep, yep. So I was really glad to see it take place there. So I've enjoyed everything, but that was probably one of my favorites, even more so than the Freddie story. And I love Freddie's story.
Really?
I loved his story and Joyce's too. I like how they got together.
Mhm.
But it's something, maybe it was because it does take place in my hometown, you
Oh,
know,
you
and
have
I'm
a
gonna be
little
down with my peeps
down with your peeps. All
all the
right.
time. I'm
All
loyal.
right.
I'm team D,
Oh my
big time.
God.
Even though I'm in the Buckeye State now, that's okay. I'll always be a Detroiter. Yes, ma'am. So, but yes, I enjoy them all. I can't wait to read them all. I've read them over and over again, um, because they are real.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
glad that my characters are relatable.
Very much so. And I've learned things, especially about head trauma and memory loss.
Mhm.
Those, it takes you back a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, it's not like Grey's Anatomy or something where, hey, they get this head trauma and then by the end of the show,
I
oh,
love
life is
I love
good. I
that
got my
show.
memory back. Hey, you're my wife. I love you.
You're fine. Yeah.
No, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So it
Nah,
to see that
she
struggle.
it
Hmm.
it it took her a little while to come back, and she didn't want to show her wife that. So
Right. And the fact that, we're looking at people who are super wealthy.
yes,
And
they are.
typically we don't get that snapshot.
Right.
If they're an athlete, we get the bling, we get the cars and all of that. But
Uh-huh.
when you have families that are wealthy, that are
Right.
holding each other down, that are buying gifts, but it's not like this. It's different than what we get
Right.
ordinarily,
Right.
through paparazzi.
Right.
And the characters are totally relatable, even though they're super rich.
Yeah.
Hmm. We can't relate to the money part, but the
Not
rest of it,
not
the
yet.
love, the pain, the joy, the
Yeah. The
agony, all of
struggle,
that.
the trauma.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
We can all relate to one of or more of these characters. I can see myself in quite a few of them, you know.
Wow.
Mhm. Coming from a traumatic background, not having parental support and
Yeah.
on and on. So I
Yeah.
can relate to Terry, I can relate to Sonia, I can relate to Anne and Joyce. Definitely.
Uh-huh.
Hell, I can relate to the grandma. Both of them. Sonia's grandmother and CJ's grandmother.
Hmm.
I love Sonia's grandmother, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
she's a character.
yeah, she's a hoot.
Yeah,
So
we'll eventually get to see her in her own book.
oh, fantastic. That's
Yeah.
going to be good. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. It's been real.
It has been.
Always.
Oh,
Always.
yes. Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, dear heart. Have a good rest of your Saturday.
Okay, you too.
All right, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.